Taking a look back at Jasmy, I mentioned in my previous video we'd likely see a move all the way back down to this green box again, considering that we're hanging out in this region up in no man's land. This is going to be a big decision point for Jasmy here if we find a bounce or not. It is worth a mention every time we have tested this box and had a move to the upside that it is becoming weaker. So the next bounce we get off of this could very well reject off the 382 instead of the 0.5. Maybe we could very well see something like this where we kind of trade within the box for a little bit and then break it to the downside. Taking a look at the Ichimoku cloud and the EMA ribbon, not a lot's changed. The Ichimoku cloud is still moving down towards the price action. It isn't really getting wider, but it is moving down. The EMA ribbon is still red, which is to be expected, and it is widening. So, again, we could very well come back up here and test it and then move further down. On the 4-hour, it looks like we rejected it pretty much at the top of the Ichimoku cloud here, around the 0.5 level on the Fibonacci retracement, and that managed to push us all the way out of the cloud and to this green box yet again. The EMA ribbon is quite wide here, and this is probably the second touch that we've seen throughout this range. If we can keep managing to chip away at the EMA ribbon here, we could very well break this to the upside, and we actually have a pretty nice gap in the Ichimoku cloud right here. So if we do have a breakout, it needs to happen relatively soon. Take a look on the hourly. You can see that we have interacted with the EMA ribbon quite a bit throughout this range, so it could be ready for a breakout to the upside. We've also been testing the Ichimoku cloud quite a bit. Although this is technically the first test of it, you can see that it is getting much thinner up ahead, and it looks like the price action is trying to fight it again. So as mentioned on the 4-hourly chart, we probably have a relatively narrow window to escape this as the Ichimoku cloud is starting to widen again. And I'd really like to see it break above the 200 EMA here and use it as support so we can see that move to the 382, which is this green line here. If not, we could very well see somewhat of a fake out like this where we reject off the 200 EMA. So to sum things up here, this is a relatively critical moment for Jasmy. If we don't find support here, we could have another 40% drop all the way down to this low, which is around 1 cent. In my opinion, if we do get a bounce here, we'll likely move all the way up to the 382 before seeing a rejection again. And this is because every time we have tested this green box, we have gotten lower highs. So be on the lookout for a rejection at around 2.2 cents if we find a bounce here. And really, we need to break this previous high to the upside and use it as support so we can trend higher. So really anything above 2.8 cents will become more bullish in my opinion, especially if we can really chip away at these higher price levels. And ultimately, if we do blow through this green box to the downside, I'd be looking for anything below, 1.6 cents for a potential move all the way back down here. But in my opinion, I think we'll see something like this where we reject off the 382 and start setting lower highs and then eventually break it to the downside. And this is especially true if the rest of the market also tanks, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is all I have for Jasmy today. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so as I try to post content daily. As always, this is not financial advice, and I'll see you in the next one.